These are the 7 red flags in women that you should never ignore.
Number one is daddy issues. She doesn't have a good relationship with her father. If a woman doesn't have a good relationship with the man of the house, the guy that she supposedly grew up with him, how do you expect her to respect and honor you as a man in a relationship or as a father of children if you guys are going to have kids? It rarely happens. The other problem too with daddy issues is these women tend to have borderline personality disorder or BPD. And one of the things that is connected with that is they have a fear of abandonment, and they tend to act out in ways that make abandonment certain, if you can put it that way. Feminists, most women today, if they identify as a feminist, they're the version of toxic feminism, where they don't actually seek any kind of equality with men. In actuality, I think we've been equal for years now, for decades even. Like, there's really nothing a woman can't do that a man can't do. It's just that they find ways to embrace victimhood. The common talking point is something along the lines of, well, women only make 75 cents on every dollar that a man makes. But they refuse to take into account that, well, when you factor in a man's income versus a woman's income, men tend to take more dangerous jobs, work longer hours, commute further, experience more workplace injuries. Like, I don't see any push from feminists to move women into coal mines and garbage trucks and oil rigs, but they push to move them into the boardroom as positions like CEOs. So there's a bit of a disconnect. If you have a victim mindset, it's kind of a loser's mindset. And whenever you embrace a victim's mindset, you need to have an oppressor. So guess who the oppressor is going to be? You're a man, it's going to be you at some point. So, if you want an easy, certain, happy, pleasant life, generally speaking, stay away from women that identify as feminists. Women that compete with you. I don't know if you ever dated one of these boss girls, one of these strong, boss ladies.
Oh, yeah.
But my house is bigger than yours. My car is nicer than your car. I've got that. It's like, look, I'm not here to compete with you. I'm here to compete with myself. And if you think that I want competition from an unpleasant woman, you got another thing coming. So I advise guys, especially guys that are like me, chasing excellence, put it in dent in the universe and make a lot of money to do something with their life. Stay away from those boss girls that try to compete with you. Women that keep guys from their past around. You ever dated a woman and she says, "Oh, I'm going to go out to lunch with my ex-boyfriend tomorrow," or something like that? Really? Not on my watch. Look, if you're going to try to claim me and you want to be in a relationship with me, and you don't want me to see any other girls, I'm sorry, but you're not able to hang out with ex-boyfriends from your past. No good ever comes from putting your girlfriend or your wife in a room with another man that she was intimate with in her past. So that's something that you have to consider. Violence, a woman that's violent, she's got violent tendencies. I wouldn't even, like, some guys will be like, "Oh, well, you can just make her friends with benefits." Not if she starts throwing things at you and the police need to get called, because it's not her that they'll take away in handcuffs. It's probably going to be you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So stay away from violent women. Tattoos and piercings is always a controversial one. I would probably add extended, ridiculous dagger nails to that now, which seems to be a more common thing today. Tattoos are typically a masculine trait, right? Like, historically, tribal, masculine men would get tattooed for those reasons. So when women start to do it, like this version of culture and society today convinces women to be more masculinized. And I think that women getting tattooed now, getting sleeve tattoos and lots of tattoos all over their bodies, is a sign of them trying to be more like men. Historically, like, even when I was a kid, teenage years, 20 years, my 20s, there was no women covered in tattoos. It was very rare. Like, I remember I had a girl from my 20s. She had a tattoo of her heart in her bikini line. That was it. And that was like, oh, that's taboo sort of thing. And then they moved into the tramp stamps and it sort of went from there. But tattoos just show a lack of taste. It's like putting bumper stickers all over a Lamborghini. You just don't do it. Right. Women are beautiful by nature. Why would you go and like draw all over their bodies? Let alone, believe it or not, what happens between tattoo artists and women that they tattoo. I've talked to a lot of tattoo artists and they get intimate a lot of the times too. So there's that. Big notch counts. So this notion of the red flags is more sensible for guys looking for a girlfriend, a long-term relationship, or the mother for their kids. If you just want to have fun, it doesn't matter. If she's got experience, she's been with 50 guys, it doesn't matter. But the fact of the matter is, there's lots of studies out there. I think the Teachman study is probably the most prolific one. You can go look it up. But they studied the effect of past sexual partners on a woman's ability to pair bond in a strong way to a guy over a long-term basis. So what that basically works out to is a woman that's been with 20 guys is less able to stay happily married to a guy than a woman that was a virgin or maybe had one sexual partner. Another component of that study revealed that the younger they are when they lose their virginity, the less likely they are to experience happiness in a long-term relationship in a marriage, for example. So a woman that's got, again, 20 sexual partners from the age of 14 is a worse choice than a woman that lost her virginity at 23, stayed with the same guy for 7 years. You met her at 30 and she's got one notch count, right? So it's something that you have to contemplate. That's a very uncomfortable conversation, especially in today's world, because when you start saying, well, I don't like promiscuous women, then women start saying, well, you're a misogynist, or why do you hate women? Or if men can do it, then why can't women do it too? And the fact of the matter is they can do it and they do it. It's just, if you're a smart guy and you're going to invite a woman into your life, you're better off being sensible about selecting a better mate that's a better choice, right? Women that have more notches, higher instances of STDs, abortions. They generally bring kids in tows from past relationships because they've had so much sex. Plus, there's the baggage issue, right?
Yeah.
You know for a fact that if you're my age and you date a woman around my age, she's got a lot more baggage than a woman that's 21 years old that's probably been with nobody or maybe one guy. There's more of, he hurt me, he cheated on me, he did this to me. They don't really deal with that stuff. They like to put it in a burlap bag. It's like an invisible brick. I say that they write words on it like resentment or guilt, and they put it in a burlap bag and they carry it around like it's some sort of prize. Nobody sees it, nobody cares, and they don't want to put it down and walk away from it. So notch counts is something to consider as well.
The most important thing for any man is to focus on his purpose in life rather than wasting his life chasing a woman. And the most important reason why I wrote the book, The Higher Mind Calling, is so that every man finds his true purpose and has to not stay unfulfilled in life.